Doni Langlois, welcome. Thank you
Jeff.
for joining me. I've been tripped up over your last name just for the last 3 minutes, but I'm better now.
That's all right.
I got it. Okay, Langlois.
Langlois.
Doni, I want to talk a little bit about you, your work here. Of course, that's why you're here at the Artist Gallery in the Woodlands. Your work, I would say, has a vibe to it, which is kind of cool. That's what the kids say nowadays, vibe.
Okay.
Good,
thanks for filling me.
I stole that.
Filling me in.
Yeah, I stole that from my nieces and nephews. I wouldn't have come up with that on my own.
I think you would.
Okay, so a vibe, and by that I mean that you have people know your work around, especially around North Houston here. When you say your name, people think of things automatically. They think of the Heart Rattles here, right? The Gossip Columns, this new Planet series that you have, and we have a lot of these works behind us, so we'll talk about it as we go. But my first question is, what's it like to have a vibe like attached to your name, right? That's pretty cool, huh?
Oh, it feels pretty cool.
Yeah.
You just said that, so
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't
now
I
you
had
know.
I didn't know I had a vibe.
Yeah. People say, if I say your name, oh yeah, the heart rattles. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or the birds.
Yes.
You know?
People know the birds.
That's you're known for that. You got a thing that you're known for.
That's pretty cool.
I think a lot of artists, well, a lot of just creatives in general, that's kind of the goal. They want to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
something.
You kind of want to be authentic. You want to have your own voice.
Yeah.
Your own scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your own thing.
Your own thing.
Your own vibe.
My
as
own
I've-
vibe. That's
I've
right.
probably ruined that word now.
No, say it some more.
But yeah, so when I think of your work too, several things come to mind. Several descriptive words like grounded, functional, whimsical. All three of those things kind of weave together. Can you talk on that a little bit? Would you say that's pretty accurate?
I would.
Yeah.
Maybe not everything is very functional. I mean, yes, I have vases and olive oil bottles, and you can use them. I want you to use them for those things.
Yeah.
But I don't have a series of plates or bowls or things.
Right, okay.
Like that. So, sometimes when I think of functional pottery, it's more about plates and bowls.
Yeah,
and mugs.
makes
and
sense.
things like that. So I think that's a category that you would put pottery under. That's for that. I consider my things a little bit more sculptural.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
And I want them to be lived with and used, and maybe casual but beautiful at the same
Yeah.
time. So I don't want them put high on a shelf and never
Right.
talked to, touched. I want
Right.
you to use them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely think of you, I mean, you're a ceramicist. Another hard word to say, ceramicist.
It's kind of like
Right.
Langlois.
Langlois, right. Langlois the ceramicist.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you are that, but I think of you as a sculpture artist, you know, because all of your pieces have a lot of texture to them. They're things you want to touch,
Yeah.
right? So you brought this for me today. This is awesome. One of your heart rattles. But when I see it, you know, I don't want to just look at it. I want to feel it.
You're gonna have to touch it.
I want
Yeah.
to touch it. I feel that way about a lot of your work, and I've seen working here at the gallery in the past. I've seen other people do that. They go up to your work and they touch it.
Yeah.
They want to touch it.
When they come into a booth, if I'm at an art show or something, I encourage that. I think you have to pick something up and
Yeah.
see that the weight of it, and if it's got some crustiness on it, I want you to. I guess that's how I learn, is by touching and
Yeah.
feeling that. So I want them to touch that.
Especially working with clay, right? That's the whole point. That's the
the whole
whole
point,
thing. Is you're in there with your hands working with it. You can't do it without getting dirty,
Nope.
right? Got to get in there.
No, you can't.
Speaking of so what does your art handle, your name, Artful Life Clay? Where did that come from?
Oh, good
Does
question.
it have a story?
Not exactly. You know, I don't want to make anything up, but I know there is another company called Artful Home. You may not be aware of it.
Okay.
And it's a magazine that artists sell, well, I guess online now. it used to be the a catalog that went out
Yeah.
to interior designers and homeowners,
Mm-hmm.
and it had original art in it. And it's still a company. It's called Artful Home, and I always liked that. And so I had a company called Artful Life, coming from the interior design business of faux finishing, which is what I used to do, and it just transferred into Artful Life Clay. It's kind of just a way of living.
Yeah.
You're living creatively. You're thinking about life creatively, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the idea of artful, like being full of art.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, being full
It's-
of creativity and.
It's a different way to say it. It's not something you say every day.
No.
Artful. I'm very artful. You don't hear that very often.
Right.
But I do. I remember the catalog. I remember the name.
Yeah.
So this is another theme of the show. We've had a lot of former faux finishers
Yes.
on the line. So that is like, I had no idea what faux finishing was until maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I knew in the back of my head, but I didn't really know anyone who did it personally. But I mean, you're reminding me of this, that you did have a business.
It was such a long-running trend in the design world, in the home decor world and interior design world. And it was such a way that artists could make money,
Right. Doing your craft. Right?
doing
your
craft.
thing,
Now, it was limited to making sure that the walls and the sofa matched,
Right,
so it's
right,
not
right.
exactly explorative, but I mean, it could be, depending on the client.
Could be, yeah.
But for the most part, you were matching things, making walls go with the. I did a lot of taupe walls.
Taupe, yes.
Everything was taupe.
Yeah, I've had, in fact, I actually had a disagreement with someone not long ago about what taupe was.
Oh.
I said, because that's, again, another word you don't hear every day.
Right.
I thought taupe was gray and red kind of put together, and she was thinking it was gray and blue kind of put together. But I guess it's all three of those, isn't it?
Well, here's what I know about color
Okay,
theory:
okay.
is taupe is a grayed out color. So
Right.
You take two opposites, blue and orange, and add white to them, gray it down. Well, it is gray because you've put the two opposites colors together,
right.
and then you add white and it gets lighter.
Okay, so it could be any.
So that's a taupe.
Taupe could be any hint
So
of color.
red and green with white
Okay. Right on.
kind of thing.
Now you know. That's a good thing to know.
I'm sure there's an argument,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure that's what I learned in color theory.
Yeah.
And that's how I would make,
That's how you would
different
do it.
grays,
Right.
warm grays to cool grays, different grays.
And so when you're doing faux finishing, also you're doing textures and whatnot, like
Oh,
making things look like
yes.
marble, make it look
Yeah.
like plaster.
Making it look 250,000 years old or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
That's got to be a different style of painting, right? You're definitely going for an effect.
Yes.
I mean, that's
You
the
want
only
a surface
sub.
that looks like something.
Yeah, I can make it
else.
look like this table.
Like, faux bois, you would be doing wood graining.
Right on. Cool. Okay, so you went from interior designer, faux finisher. How did you fall into the clay world? How did that become?
It was a hobby. I went and took a class and learned from Roy Hanscom in, what is Lone Star College now, but it was the North Harris location.
Okay.
And you could sign up to take Ceramics 1 and then Ceramics 2, and then sign up for the community classes and just take them forever. And it's great because you get the whole, and this is definitely a shout out to Lone Star College system, you get the access to all these kilns, all these different types of kilns, gas kilns and electric kilns and raku kilns and workshop experiences, and a huge glaze room with all the chemicals you could want to figure out your glazing. It's a great way
Yeah,
to learn clay.
because all those things require quite an investment.
Ooh,
Yeah. So using that system is a great way to get your feet wet, right?
Yeah, and so I was doing that as a hobby, and started making hearts with a friend of mine, and I just really liked creating things. And I went to Ireland with my mother, which is, I know this is a Like, what?
Go for it. No, let's go all over it.
I went to Ireland with my mom, and we went to an art show in Ireland, and there were potters there, and something about it just struck, and I said, that's what I want to do. Who needs a living?
Cool. Right. Right.
Just make hearts.
Yeah. Just make hearts.
Just make heart rattle.
So this is where it began with actual form and shape.
That's what I started selling.
Okay.
Yeah, they've morphed a little bit, and I don't do them as much anymore. But I probably have made thousands.
Yeah.
2,000 hearts.
There's a demand. I remember being at the gallery here and people coming in. Where are the hearts? They're over there.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. That's
I
great.
will make more.
Again, that's great. That's a great problem to have. I mean, people wanting to know where the hearts are.
Yeah.
But I love that you had to go all the way to Ireland to find that.
Well,
right?
I don't know.
Or just that's where it happened.
You know what happens when you go away on vacation? Sometimes you have space to think about what's next.
Yeah.
And I was in between, the faux finishing and what am I doing next? And I was fairly newly married and kids.
Okay.
He came with kids. So.
Right. Right on.
there were all
big
these
changes.
big changes happening.
Yeah.
So I'll just make clay.
Okay. Right on. And then did you see them, you said you saw potters, were they actually making the stuff or was it just the work itself?
It was just the work
Okay.
and people were happy.
Yeah.
And Ireland was a big, I loved Ireland. I loved it. I loved everything about the ancient world being right there visible to you as well as the modern world and that intersection of spirituality and daily life.
And so when was this? What year was this?
It was like 2013-ish.
Okay. So not too long ago.
Yeah.
13 years? So you've been doing this for 13 years?
Well, I've been making clay stuff for 25 years probably.
Oh, okay.
To actually take it on as a business. And say I'm not doing this anymore. I'm doing this.
Right.
And
right.
Just make a clay studio.
And so how long was that transition between the two different businesses, going from faux finishing to? Did it happen like in a 6-month period, or did it happen over
No,
years?
it happened over time.
Yeah.
After the faux finishing, I developed a line of hand-painted tapestries, and was kind of trying to make a go of selling them through the Interior Design Mart in Dallas.
Okay. Cool.
And I had a showroom that was selling them, but it didn't last very long.
Okay, right on. Well, so that's the other thing. Like, you're a ceramicist. That's what you're known for now. But you're a lifelong artist, painter.
Yeah.
What was your first entry to the art world? Do you remember? What was it that you started with? Was it painting, drawing, sketching?
I don't know if you ever felt this as an artist, but I know several artists do. The angst of needing to create and do things, but being so afraid of showing anybody your work.
Yeah, guilty.
Thinking,
yeah.
Thinking you're a fake, an imposter, or whatever. And then actually putting anything on the paper or painting anything and showing yourself. That was very scary.
Cringe, that's what the kids call it.
Cringe. Now I have a vibe.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Yeah.
But I remember cringing. But I went to a workshop and with someone, I wish I could remember her name. She's someone who wrote a book and was a therapist, a Jungian therapist, and she used art, did art therapy. And I went there for the weekend and there were other people there and we could paint with poster paint, anything we wanted for as long as we could on the same thing the whole weekend, but you could add paper. If the thing, you decide whether your piece needed to grow or you could tear it or whatever, but you would work on the same thing the whole weekend.
Okay.
And I made this huge, kind of self-portrait-y, dream-like thing.
Yeah.
And one of the things she said was, never censor your art. Never censor it. Whatever you have to say it. You don't have to show it to anybody.
Yeah. Get it out there for you.
You're just, And another friend of mine too is a writer, and he always said, you got to write a bunch of bleep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You got to write a bunch of bleep.
Yeah.
And now that makes room for, something good.
For sure. And that is another theme that constantly is coming up in these conversations I'm having with people, is that as artists, you have to allow yourself to make bad art.
You do.
To just, without anyone judging you or critiquing it at all, you just have to have the freedom to do whatever. Because I know for myself, what ends up happening is because of that fear, I don't end up making anything.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so you just get out there and do it. Give yourself permission. Like, for the next 2 hours, I'm just going to do whatever. And if I don't like it, I can toss it or paint over it or whatever.
Yeah.
So once you figured that out, then you knew, oh, this is what I want to do, that sort of thing?
Well, I knew I wanted to be in the creative field, however, and that I wasn't going to censor. I made the commitment to not ever censor anything I did, and of course, perfectionism comes in, and you're like, oh, it's awful.
Yeah, right.
There's a crack, but for the most part, I don't.
Yeah.
And if I don't think it's good, then I won't put it out.
Right. Well, now I would say that your works, in particular, embraces the imperfection.
It does.
The cracks, and I know that when you put things in a kiln, like who knows what's going to happen, right? Sometimes, but it's full of like beautiful cracks. Or this one doesn't have any, but I'm looking at these behind us.
Yeah,
there's some little
like this. I love this.
Little marks on there.
This is my favorite thing, but it's not a functional piece for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But even like this vessel here behind you, these lines.
Yes.
They're not perfectly straight, or they're not made by. They look like
there's torn edge.
Yeah.
I like things to feel natural,
real. Yeah.
Elemental,
I would say again, groundedness. Grounded in reality, because reality is that, right? Not perfect.
That's right.
It's a lot of messiness, and there's an embrace with those.
That's right. I make messy pots.
There you go. Right. Well, it's great. Another thing that I think of when I see your work is, how in school you learn about finding pottery shards from ancient cultures or whatnot. I often think once we all blow ourselves up, we're all gone.
Don't even go there.
Exactly. But 2,000 years from now, when they find this little butterfly on the ground, a little shard of it, and they're going to say, "What were they trying to say?" Right. I feel like you're leaving a lot of messages for the future world to unearth. I think it's cool. I wonder what those people who made those pottery shards in Pompeii, I wonder what they were really like.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very real, grounded. You have these series that you become known for, like I mentioned in the beginning. One of the newer ones is the Other Planet series.
Yeah.
It's on the wall in the back. Tell us a little bit about that whole thing, because that seems like a deviation from what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Right? Which was a lot of vessels and the hearts and the birds and stuff. And so this is kind of very different.
It is. I like to play. I think, creativity and moving forward and getting better is about play. And so I give myself time to explore, but sometimes things just, come to you. The muse is sitting on your shoulder.
Right.
And she's like, hey, you've got all of those terracotta pots over there. So somebody gave me these little terracotta pots that are this deep and that big around, and like 20 of them, and I guess they're for succulents or something. They don't have holes in them or anything. And I'm always looking for ways to put clay on the wall and come up with a wall series or something. And so I decided to use those as molds. And I just started playing. So I throw the clay in little wads, or in, you can see how I placed it to the mold. And then secure a back onto it. And I think at the same time there was space exploration going on, and I think that's fascinating. And I also have all this metal that people give me and that I find. I love rusty metal things.
Okay.
Something about corrosion, deterioration. I love that.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to use that for something, and that these pieces found their way into the planets, And
Yeah,
I just imagine the planets swirling around out there collecting space
right,
debris.
right, yeah, yeah. Did you see the movie Gravity?
Yeah.
Remember that was a terrifying scene
was
when they were
terrifying.
getting like belted by the trash. That totally gives me that thought. You know?
Well,
These planets are collecting trash from
That's right.
our solar system.
That's right. Yeah. So
But finding
that's what those
beauty
are.
in those found objects too, like the rusty nails and like this little, I don't know what that is on the
Yeah,
bottom.
I
of
don't
that.
know what
I
it
don't
is
know what
either.
is.
It's just
it's got a
fun.
hinge or something, but they look.
It's a clamp, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it came from a culture known to or similar to ours, but maybe not the same. I don't know. There's something otherworldly about it. In fact, that's when I saw the name Other Planets. That's kind of what I thought. That's what came to my mind. But they're very cool. I also like. It seems like the circle is a theme in your work too,
Oh, yeah.
like roundness,
Sure.
and so that kind of
Cycles.
ties in. Yeah, cycles. I think artists we just love circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something very soothing about it.
It's very that and that's what life is. It's our circle of life.
Yeah, yeah. So, so that's the planet series. We have to talk about the birds. And the Gotham columns, because that's another one where people just, where are the birds? Where are the birds? Again, here at the Artist Gallery, I've seen it. People are asking where they are, and I know that you couldn't make them fast enough at one point. People were just where did that come from? What's the story behind that?
You know, I think we're all a collection of all of the people that have been in our lives, right? And all the things that happen to us come out in our work somehow. But so the first part is that somebody gave me some old sugar mold, and that's what the wood part is. It's the cones that make piancillos, which is the brown sugar cones that were made in Mexico, and I think they're made in other European countries too, because I've seen them being sold through other places. But that's what those were originally made for. Now they're kind of a decor item. They've made candles that go in those sugar molds, or people put plants in them, or brushes, makeup brushes, or things like that.
Okay.
So somebody gave me one, and it was really old and crusty, and which I loved.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm like, I don't know what to do with it, but there it was. And I've always loved watching birds like congregate on a wire, and I just make stories up in my head that they're talking about everybody, and that they know everything going on in the neighborhood, and they're saying, hey, there's food over there, and things like that. So stories in my head. So that was part of it. So I decided to make birds coming out of the holes. I wanted something kind of folk art feeling. But then my dad comes into it. He is a punster, and he always held court around the dinner table, and we had a lot of fun talking puns, pun jokes, and different. We had little word games that we would play, and I don't know. Somehow I came up with the name Gossip Column, and then each one used to have a name, a single name. So they would be under the umbrella of Gossip Columns, but each one had to have a name that had to do with birds and gossiping. Somehow the name had to fit that.
Okay.
Like Tall Tales.
Okay, gotcha.
Is one name, and that's where when I have the birds flying in and their little butts are sticking out.
Right, yeah, because sometimes the front end, sometimes the back end.
Right.
Okay.
So
cool.
That was always fun for like 100 of them. The first 100 had names.
Yeah. then you ran out of names.
And we're
right?
like, oh my God.
You have to get really clever.
You have to get really clever.
Start doing it in other languages or something.
Oh, well, that's an idea.
Yeah, I mean, those again, we're laughing talking about it because it makes you smile when you see those. You just can't help but crack up. And I imagine, when you say Gossip Columns, that's exactly what comes to my mind. What are these little birds up to? They're up to no good.
That's right. They're talking, they're snarky.
Yeah, they got funny things to
whimsical,
say. Yeah.
They're flying in from other places and hiding, I don't know.
Yeah, playful. I think that's something, so I never cared for bird watching ever in my life until I got older. And now it's like, I like watching birds, going in and out of birdhouses and, doing their thing. They're very weird. I mean, they're very particular about their behavior,
yeah.
like throwing stuff on the ground, eating stuff,
Uh-huh.
doing whatever they do. And so you definitely capture that characteristic of the birds. It's fun. It's very fun. Whimsy.
I find, again, if I'm at a show, men like the birds. Men will walk by with their wives, and the men come in the shop, and that never happens with anything else.
Yeah.
They go to the birds.
That's
they don't
cool.
see anything else.
Right. That makes sense as a man, because
Okay.
I go to the bird because the bird is something I can relate to immediately, you know, and they're fun. They're
Yeah.
funny. I think we like funny stuff,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
I
don't know
think
why.
so. That's what would draw me in.
But
But
I
how?
haven't figured it out. I just find it interesting.
Yeah.
Amusing.
Well, and also it's good. Use that to your benefit, because that way you get the ladies in, and they're probably the ones who are going to be more, you know, doing the design in the house anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
Usually, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's a good way to get them all in the booth, right? Speaking of booth, you just finished the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival, and so this is you're doing more of the festival scene now. Is that?
Well, trying to do longer shows, and you know, we're always trying to grow, right?
Right,
So,
absolutely, yeah.
So I'm trying to get better and get involved in shows that are, you know, harder to get into, highly juried shows.
Right. Right. Well, congratulations, 'cause that's a
Thank
hard
you.
show to get into.
Thank you.
And I stopped by your booth. It's beautiful. I mean, you have a really nice setup. It looks like a little gallery in there, you know, like a showroom. You can tell the interior designer in you is coming out. You had really good lighting too. Like, I think
thanks.
lighting can really be used well if you know what you're doing. You know, if you don't know what you're doing.
Not sure I knew what I was doing.
You
But
well, you.
I have a husband that knows what he's doing. I
Okay.
think.
Well, good job, Mark.
Yeah,
Right?
Mark.
Yeah, good job, Mark. He did it
Yes.
because you again, sculptural. It really had that sculptural feel
Thank you.
to the booth with the light hitting things just the right way. Very cool. And we'll show pictures here so people can see what we're talking about. But I know you have more shows coming up. What else is on the schedule?
Round Top Art Festival, which is in its third year.
Okay.
You know, they have the Round Top antiques stuff, I think, 4 times a year.
Yeah, that's a big
something
deal.
like that.
People go to Round Top to get stuff.
To get stuff, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
this is just art. This is just an art festival, and it's just at the compound.
Okay.
So I've done that before, and it's been good. And so I'm doing it May 8th through 10th. And then I probably won't do another show until September, hopefully, if I get in, the Woodlands Fine Craft.
Okay. Oh yes, cool. Yeah, that's in their third year?
It'll be their third year.
Third year. Okay, cool. And that's indoor,
Yes.
right? So that's nice.
Yes, very nice.
Indoor shows are very nice.
Yes, very nice, since we experienced all the rain.
Yeah, it was a rainy spring this year so far. And that's the thing about the outdoor shows. Like, even if you do get in, it could rain.
It could rain.
Or it could be 1,000 degrees.
That's
you know?
I have to say, it wasn't 1,000 degrees at the
Yeah.
Woodlands, you know, Fine Arts Festival, but it was rainy and muddy, and
Yeah, that's part of the game.
it is part of the game.
That's cool. I'm glad to see you doing more of those bigger shows, because it's good to see you get out there and represent your vibe and have it all. I'm going to keep using that word.
That vibe's got to be out there.
I'm going to keep doing that. Do you? One thing I wanted to ask you is, do you still sketch? Do you keep a sketchbook? Do you draw and paint at all anymore? I mean, I know you paint and create on the clay.
Yeah, the surfaces are very painterly and still very much part of my decorative painting life, with the layers and surface texture and all. But no, I don't. I don't draw that much. Well, I don't sketch. I draw things out. I have the kind of interior design engineering piece where I will lay out my booth, and I draw things to scale when I change a room.
Yeah, yeah.
And every now and then I'll create something that requires thinking about how to put it together, like a totem or something, and I will sketch that out and pre-think that.
Give that, okay, yeah. Because for ceramicists, I often wonder how much of it is planned through a sketch, or how much of it is just putting your hands in the clay and seeing what happens? Or I guess sometimes you probably have an idea of what kind of vessel or piece you want to make in the beginning, and then kind of goes where it goes.
That's right.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
I know.
You know, because of the interior design vibe.
Yes.
I tend to make vessels because I can see them in the space. Right? Think about them where things will go. But then, you know, then there's planets, and that's just for fun. That was just out of the blue.
Well, that's another thing that I think is pretty cool. Putting clay on a wall, like, that's not something I ever thought of. I remember the first time I saw your planets, I was like, oh, that's cool. You could put clay on a wall. I didn't really...
it can be heavy. And then Julie just had the clay and concrete show. And so a lot of pieces were on the wall. And I made specific things for that, and they were kind of like shields, totally different than other things.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Is that something you think about, like, oh, let me make a piece that I can hang on the wall? Or does that just sort of happen?
No, I think, let me work on this.
Okay. And how do you hang it? Is it on a screws, or do you?
These just have little triangles on the back. They have a full back, and then I could show you. And there's a little triangle, and that just goes over the nail.
Oh, okay.
They aren't that heavy.
Okay.
But the shield, I made knobs on the back and then strung it like a painting.
Okay, with a
it's
wire.
kind of wire.
Yeah. Okay.
There's ways to do it. You can have like a key, like a French cleat.
Yeah, I've seen
kind of
those.
Thing, which is probably the strongest.
Right. Yeah. That way you don't wake up in the middle of the night with bam. No.
Right.
I'm sure that's never happened. You've never broken anything, right?
No.
Nothing's ever been broken.
Gosh. Right before a show, it was part of this series. There were very tall, 3 tall pieces, taller than those, but that's style. And they were going to Clay Houston's opening or something. And we had a bed mattress leaning against our garage door. And I opened the garage door because I was leaving and I was going to be taking these pieces out. The bed fell in and knocked those pieces off my table.
No. Oh, no. What did you do? Did you take a moment to just...
I cussed.
Okay, all right. All right, that's the real deal. We were looking for that.
Yeah.
That happens.
Mark came running in. Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, things happen.
Things do happen. I guess this is probably one of those annoying questions you probably get in the booth sometimes. How long does it take you to do this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I guess it's different for every piece,
yes,
how
Jeff,
big it is.
That's annoying.
Sorry. I just annoyed,
sorry.
just annoyed my guests. I'm sorry. But, you think of like how much time goes into a piece. Like this vessel behind you here, it looks like some hours went into that.
I do... make things in series. So the first time you make it, it's forever. It takes forever. But after that, you get your system down.
The hang of it.
Something you're making over and over is a little faster. I create pre-bowls for these. So I have all these different shapes of bisque-fired bowls, and I start like 12 of them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to wait for things to dry as you build higher. Or else it'll fall over.
Yeah.
So I will do several at one time. I will have all of these sitting in a little bowl mold, getting hard enough to hold itself up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's actually hard to answer that question.
Yeah, I know. My bad.
And then it goes in the kiln twice, and it gets glazed, and all of those things take time.
And you have your own kiln,
I do.
Correct? Yeah. So at what point did you say, okay, I got to have my own kiln? Was that?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was. This was before I was a clay, doing this as a job. A friend of mine moved. She had just purchased a kiln and a slab roller, and she had decided that she and her husband didn't want to do this as a business. So they sold it to me.
Oh, good.
Very good price.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
My kiln is probably 25 years old.
Okay. Does that matter in terms of, okay.
No.
It seems like those things last forever.
They do.
Yeah.
And they're so easy to repair.
Cool.
I can repair it.
Good. Awesome. Very good.
Very simple.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this has been a really fun conversation, Doni. I thank you for this heart rattle. This is
You're
really
welcome.
cool. I was going to ask you, what is inside of it? I'm sure you get that question a lot
I
too.
do. I
Yeah.
do, because I usually have them sitting in a bowl of beans, because
Okay.
that way they just kind of nestle in the bowl better. And so people always think the beans are in there, but
Right.
they would of course burn.
Right.
But there's little, it's just little round balls of clay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And they can handle the fire.
They can handle the fire.
Okay, cool. Well, before we go, Doni, we have to do the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
It's serious. No, not serious. Not really at all. No, these are fun. This is either or, yes, no, or one choice or the other questions.
Okay.
Kind of give us an idea of who you are. You don't have to tell us any of the reasons behind your answers.
Okay.
We just want to rapid fire.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So the first one is coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Right? Red or blue?
Blue.
Blue, all right. Live music or live theater?
Oh. Music.
Music, okay. What kind of show you like to go to? Just curious.
Singer-songwriter-ish.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Cool. I was thinking like Paul Simon, that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, sure. Yes.
When I think singer-songwriter, I always think of him for some reason. Okay, up or down?
Up.
All right. Stone in your shoe or itch you can't scratch?
Oh, stone in my shoe.
Okay, right on.
Get rid of that.
All right. Museum quality or street level energy?
Street level energy.
Street level energy. Okay, cool. You have a little bit of street level energy in your pieces. One thing you see a lot is your writing, kind of like graffiti style writing, where you, is that a word or
Right.
what does it say? Or
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of make up words.
Absolutely, it's all made up. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so street level energy. Okay, long drive or long walk?
Oh. Drive.
Okay. Trust your eye or trust your gut?
Gut.
Movie theater or Netflix?
Netflix.
Okay. It's all right. It's 2026. Who needs a movie theater anymore, right? Plan or no plan?
Oh, plan.
Okay. Right on. Yeah. The interior designer has got a plan on that stuff. I can see that for sure. All right. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Early bird. Concept driven or process driven?
Process.
Okay. Create with music or without music?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. With it.
Both.
With or without. Okay.
With or without.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was clever. I never thought of that workaround. I usually say no both. But you said yes, so that's not both. That worked. Okay, I see what you did there. That's good. All right. Sometimes you listen, sometimes you don't. I'm the same
Sometimes
way.
I mean, if I'm creating new, often I want it quiet
Okay.
or not non-worded.
Okay. Yeah.
Music.
Kind of go in the zone. I often wonder, like, sometimes in painting, you'll see the people painting with emotion, like,
Yeah.
do you do that with clay? You can't really do that, can you?
I can.
Spam.
I slam wedge.
Okay.
So instead of, there's a way you wedge and it's kind of hard on your hands. And there's a way you can slam clay down,
okay.
cut it, turn it, slam it, cut it, turn it, slam it.
All right. So that's how you get.
That's
How you get
fun.
the
And then
energy
I
out.
also have a big bat that I beat the clay down with.
All right.
So yes, so you
Okay.
like that.
You're all right. You're doing it right. All right. Sounds like you got a plan. All right. Okay. Beauty or truth?
Oh, truth.
Okay. And the last one, art that whispers or art that shouts?
That's another yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I can see like those gossip birds. They're probably shouting a little bit.
Some shout.
Or some whisper.
Some whisper.
Actually,
Some
as
whisper.
soon as I said that, I realized that gossiping a lot of time is quiet. You don't know what's happening, especially if it's about you.
That's right. You never know. You never know who they're talking about.
You never know. Awesome. Well, Doni, thank you so much for joining me today. I think you've opened our eyes to a lot of cool things about your work, and I encourage everybody to come see your work here at the Artist Gallery in the Woodlands, Texas. You can also find your work often at the Madeley Fine Art Gallery,
Sometimes, yeah.
part of the Conroe Art League, and of course online So follow Doni online, and we'll put your information up here on Instagram at Artful Life Clay, and also on Facebook, Artful Life Clay. And our website is Doni-Langlois.com.
Very well.
I said it. All right.
job.
.com. We have it all up here, so you will definitely be able to spell it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doni. Let's do it again sometime. In the meantime, peace out.